Hey, welcome to season 2 of Jessica Be Real. I am so excited to be back behind the mic. I feel like I haven't done a podcast in a year and it's only been a few months, but it has been a crazy few months. So, if you're new here at the end of 2025, I decided to redesign my life and make a move to Miami part time. So, this season is going to be all about navigating between New York and Miami, salon life, and building my coaching brand, single to dating. And you're going to see the good, the bad, and everything in between. So, just to recap, in 2025, I felt a desire and a draw to come to Miami. I was launching my coaching brand in the fall of 2025, and I also had the opportunity to come to Miami to take an updated hair extension class. I've been a hairstylist for 20 years and have niched down into the hair extension market over the past 5.5 years. So I came to Miami in October, took an updated hair extension class, and used that opportunity to also fly my videographer down and just spend the weekend doing photos and branding videos around the city. And it was during that 5-day time period that I completely fell in love with this city. And I knew I needed to be here in some type of capacity. So I just started entertaining the idea. In life, you have to have the courage to entertain the idea of the things that you really want. I think sometimes we get too afraid of entertaining the idea because we automatically just think it's out of reach. It's something I can never obtain. So you don't even ever entertain the idea, but you have to have the courage to do that. So after leaving the city, I would say within a week, I found a realtor who could show me apartments around the city. And I came back down within a few weeks after and just started looking at places and just started thinking, okay, how do I make this work? I have a salon in New York. I have a full clientele. And I decided to basically split my clientele in two and work 10 back-to-back days with back-to-back clients every month. And I found an apartment here and everything just lined up. And these things, these opportunities don't just happen out of nowhere. They happen because of the decisions that we make 6 months, a year prior, sometimes 5 years prior. And when the opportunity arises, you have two choices. You take it even though you're scared, you do it anyways, or you don't take it and you lose that chance. So I remember I put my application in for my apartment. I think it was like on a Friday. And I was like, okay, if I'm approved for this apartment, this is my sign that I'm going to do this. So I got the call on Monday and I was sitting in my car and I just was like almost in tears. And I was filled with like excitement, but I was also filled with fear because I've never lived in a big city before. And this was going to be something completely new to me and out of my comfort zone. So I get off the phone call and I'm like, okay, I'm doing this. So it was then that I started rearranging my schedule. And within a couple of months, at the end of December, I made the transition. I drove down to Miami, and when I got down here, I thought I was going to jump in like head first. I had been working on my first coaching launch for months, and it was almost ready to go. And So I thought when I got down here, I was like, I'm going to launch this thing within days, and that did not go as planned. I did not give myself the grace that I needed to get adjusted to life down here. It is a completely different world, and in so many great ways. But I needed time to adjust to this new way of living. So, one thing last year that I got really solid on was my morning routine, working out, eating clean, meditating. And so, moving here, that's one thing that I did jump right into. And it's just part of who I am now. And I think having that solid foundation just makes you feel more stable no matter where you are. So that's what I jumped right into. I started working out. I actually added, I'm a weightlifting girly, but I actually added Pilates into the mix too. Um, Dove right into food prep and kept my eating routine. Meditation has honestly gotten stronger since I've been here. I'm able to spend a little more time in the mornings doing that. Now, when I'm in New York, this routine, I'm not going to lie, it falls off a little bit because I'm on such a strict schedule when I'm in New York that I definitely give myself a little more leeway because I know I'm so regimented when I'm here in Miami. I give myself a little bit of that grace when I'm in New York. I think one of the biggest questions I've gotten asked so far is, have you met new people? Have you made new friends? And I wouldn't say this is something I didn't expect because I saw this when I was here um, in the fall of 2025. But nobody that is here is from here. And I feel like so many people move to this city in the same position that I am in, by themselves, looking to meet new people, looking to connect. And I have met so many people and I have a small friend group, and that has been one of the greatest things. It has definitely pushed me out of my comfort zone going to new events by myself and just pushing myself to approach new people. But to be completely honest, I could be walking down the street or walking in the mall or sitting down having a drink by myself, and I get approached, I meet new people, I have conversations, and it's been so refreshing to be in a place where people are actually interested. People want to get to know you and want to know why you're here and what you're doing. And I'd say that's been one of the easiest things by far since I've been here, is to meet people. But it has taken me, not holing up in my apartment. I actually get out and I do things, and it requires you getting out of your comfort zone. I've had some people make comments to me that, Jessica, you're so extroverted and you're so outgoing. And to me, if you knew me 10, 15 years ago, I used to be painfully shy. So to hear people say that, I I know that I am a lot more outgoing than I used to be, but part of me still looks at myself like that girl who used to be nervous to go to social functions, and I used to get anxiety even driving down my street in my small town. So to hear that, I know it's true, but I there's part of me that still looks at myself like that person. But when you push yourself continuously, like I have over the last 10 to 15 years, to do new things and to do things that scare you, that you have to take a risk, you truly do become a different person over time. Like I said, I have met a lot of people since I've been here, and you learn quickly who are your people and who's not your people. And I have went on a few dates, and is this the point where I tell you guys that I met the man of my dreams and we're gonna live happily ever after? Because I'm kidding. But I feel like that's what everybody like expects every month when I go back to New York, like for me to say that. But no, not yet at least. But I have went on some dates, and it's just been really fun, like connecting and getting to know people and hear where they're from and what they're doing here. And obviously, this place, there's so many more opportunities and so many more people. And you guys are going to hear in real time the things that I'm going through and the reality of dating in a new city. And I'm going to share some stories with you guys, maybe some juicy, maybe some learning experiences. Since being here, there are still times where I wake up in the middle of the night or wake up in the morning, and I wouldn't say it's like this sense of panic, but I don't know, maybe it's a sense of like, okay, am I in New York or am I in Miami? Because I'm traveling back and forth so much right now. But it's still this sense of like, I feel like it's all still catching up to me, like the identity shift that is happening. And I don't mean that like I become a different person when I'm here, but just seeing myself as a person that I've never seen myself as before. I think when you do something for so long, like I've been a hairstylist for so long, that to do something completely different out of your comfort zone, sometimes it takes a while for your mind to catch up to that. Now, for the past 5.5 years, I've niched down into hair extensions, and doing hair has always been something that I've completely loved, but especially doing hair extensions for the past 5.5 years. The transformation that it gives a woman is just incredible to see. And it gives you so much confidence. It gives you just this new sense of self, and just knowing that that impacts every part of a woman's life. So last year, I developed this deep desire to help women transform from the inside out. And what I mean by that is to create a life that you are completely in love with. When we are growing up, we're so conditioned to, we have this checklist, and we're so conditioned to check all the boxes and, go to college and, meet somebody, get married, buy a house, have children, and then you'll be happy. And I've done a lot of those things, and it did not lead me to happiness or a sense of fulfillment or purpose. And last year, I really spent a lot of time deep diving into why that is. And what stemmed from that was my coaching business and the desire to help women create a life that they are in love with, to stop settling in things that they know are not meant for them, and to know that you don't have to have a checklist to happiness, but you do have to have a solid foundation and a sense of purpose and something that you are working towards, and a deep knowing that all you have to do is take that first step. And from there, the next step presents itself. That's something, especially with this move, all I saw was the first step that I needed to take. And since then, after I take each step, another one presents itself, and I still don't see the whole picture yet. And sometimes that does terrify me. But I know deep down that this is where I'm meant to be. This is what I am meant to be doing. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm actually living my life instead of just surviving it. And to say surviving my life, it sounds so bad, but that's not the case. Sometimes surviving your life doesn't mean really anything is wrong. You just get so set in, okay, this is just how it is. And you don't actually reevaluate, am I happy with my life? Am I fulfilled? Am I working towards what I truly want in life, or am I just settling? So, this is all things that I deep dive into with my coaching clients. And I am so excited to see these women's lives transform because of it. You have to give yourself permission to go after the things that you really want because nobody else is going to give you that permission. And that means getting met with backlash and negative comments. Those are things that I've been met with the move that I've made. And when you learn to use that negativity as fuel instead of letting it get you down, that is truly where your power is. And like I said, you don't have to see the full picture to take the first step. You just have to have the courage to take that first step and know that no matter what, you will not let yourself fail. You're either going to take that step and get closer to where you want to be, or you're going to take it and you're going to learn a lesson from it. And that from that lesson, that ultimately is also going to get you closer to where you want to be. And that's exactly what I did moving to Miami. This place is so incredibly beautiful, and the people here are beautiful. To live here means you take care of yourself in a different way. It's just more of an active lifestyle, and it's just a completely different energy. And being here has caused me to look at things in such a different way. Your environment truly does impact your lifestyle and your mindset, and that can go bad or it can go good. Down here, it's obviously like a huge party city, but the other part of it, wellness and the fitness and taking care of yourself. And if you don't have a strong sense of self, like this is who I am, these are my values, these are the things that are important to me, I can see how it is easy to get wrapped up into that party lifestyle, but that can go for any area, that can go for any city, any town. But like I said, being here has caused me to look at things so much differently than even, it's only been 3 months and it's already started to change things for me. So this is what season 2 is gonna feel like, and I am excited to share it all with you. So make sure to share this episode, follow us on social media at jessicab.real and jessicab.real podcast. And if something in this episode resonated with you, or you have any questions, or there's something that you want to hear on the podcast, send me a DM. I would love to connect with you. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in to Jessica Be Real. Until next time, see you then.